And today we're diving right into something pretty, let's just say, dense and fascinating. We're discussing a paper focused on the book Propositional Soteriology, written by S.C. Sayles. So let's ask, what's the core question at the heart of S.C. Sayles' work? Well, Sayles wants to know, can Christian doctrines about salvation, especially those shaped by the Reformed tradition, be expressed with the kind of clarity and logical structure more often found in philosophy? Why is that question significant? Because for decades now, there's been a big movement away from propositional statements like "this is true" toward narratives, metaphors, and kind of, vibes-based theology. Sayles thinks that shift leads to vagueness and even a kind of instability in what people actually believe. If you're someone who cares about whether your beliefs are clear, testable, and logically connected, this is a big deal. Sayles' book isn't just a random collection of opinions. Instead, he lays out his system in a format inspired by Wittgenstein's Tractatus. So it's a big stack of numbered propositions and subpoints like 1, 1.1, 1.1.1. You get the idea. Each claim is supported not just with a single Bible verse, but with what Sayles calls an eightfold proof structure. This means every point is challenged and reinforced along 8 different lines: scriptural references, historical Christian confessions, theological consistency, logical rigor, metaphysical argument, assumptions or presuppositions, polemical defense, that means arguing against rival ideas, and finally, refutation of objections. What's cool about that? Well, if you, the listener, tend to wrestle with tough questions about faith like, how do I know this fits together? Sayles' approach aims to construct a web of support. No single weak strand can bring the whole thing down. But, on the flip side, this kind of method can feel super, dense. It's not bedtime reading by any stretch. So if you're more of a narrative or story-oriented thinker, well, it might feel kind of exhausting or even dry. That's a trade-off Sayles seems willing to make for the sake of clarity. The heart of the book reviews 5 classic Reformed doctrines, sometimes called the doctrines of grace. That's total depravity, unconditional election, definite or particular atonement, irresistible grace, and perseverance of the saints. Each gets a proposition backed by the eightfold proof. For example, about total depravity, Sayles states that humanity is wholly corrupted in every part and needs God to initiate salvation. He lines up Augustine, Luther, and modern thinkers like Jonathan Edwards behind this point. More neutral commentary from me, but if you've ever wondered whether Christian tradition is really changing or just re-expressing old truths, Sayles argues hard for continuity. His most distinctive move, though, is what he calls logos-centered soteriology. Everything, for Sayles, hangs on the logos, the eternal word or divine reason, which is, in traditional Christian terms, Jesus Christ. Salvation isn't a math equation or a random act, but rather rooted in the eternal purpose and action of the Logos. Every doctrine, from election to perseverance, is connected back to this. If you care about whether faith claims are anchored in something transcendent, this is meant to reassure. Sayles' approach is rigorous, a bit overwhelming, and definitely unusual in today's landscape. Sayles' commitment to logical clarity is a challenge, whether you agree with him or not, to not settle for fuzzy thinking, and if you sometimes feel lost in a sea of opinion, the eightfold proof method is at least one possible way to seek firmer ground.